For the first 5 years of my career, I had a favorite compliment. I would show up at every performance review, every project wrap-up. People would say, "Oh, you're just so nice to work with." I wrote that phrase like a badge of honor. I thought it meant I was a great team player, that I was building a bridge that people like me. And they did like me. But they didn't promote me. They didn't give me the lead of the high-stake projects. They didn't see me as a leader. It took me far too long to realize that nice to work with wasn't the compliment I thought it was. It was my description on my career's holding pattern. So welcome back to day 3 of the Personal Branding Challenge. And to the day 1, we meet Clara, the invisible genius. On day 2, we discuss why charismatic Alex got promoted over the more competent David. And a lot of you heard that and thought, I don't want to be a shark like Alex. I am the good guy. I am the helpful one. I am nice. And today, we need to have an honest conversation about that word. And because one of the biggest illusion holding talents professional back is a belief that being nice is enough, and it isn't, it's not. And the hard truth I had to learn is that a nice but forgettable person is still forgettable. Early in my career, I was a project coordinator at a fast-paced agency. I was an office lifeline, need someone to stay late and format a 1,000-page deck, and ask me, need someone to jump on in the weekend call because someone else dropped the boat, and I was your person. I said yes to everything, and I thought I was being the ultimate team player. I was a definition of the nice to work with. And then came the opportunity I'd been waiting for. Massive career-making project was kicking off, and it needed a leader. It required deep knowledge of our internal system and client. All of the week I had, I was a perfect fit. I was so sure this is my moment. I didn't get it. The role went to a colleague from the New York office who was known for being, let's say, a little more direct. He challenged ideas in meeting. He pushed back on the deadline. He wasn't afraid to say no. So when I finally got the courage to ask my manager why I was overlooked, she gave me the line that changed everything. She said, "Look, everybody loves you. You are the most reliable and helpful person on this team. But for this, we need a driver, someone with sharper elbows." And that was my moment of realization. In her mind, nice and helpful has become code for passive and won't rock the boat. My brand wasn't strategic partner or future leader. My brand was dependable assistant. I had been so focused on being liked to forget to be respected. This is a nice person's trap. You make yourself so available, so agreeable, so helpful, that you're a signal to others in your time. Your priority and your opinion are less important than theirs. But here's the key. The opposite of the passive knight is not aggressive jerk. The opposite of the passive knight is powerfully nice. So let's break that down. Passive knights avoid the constructive like a conflict to keep the peace and say yes immediately without considering their own workload, and sometimes like priority being like powerfully nice different than because they challenge idea respectfully to get to the best outcome and know their value and set boundary. And the last one thing is priority being effective and respected. So a powerfully nice person is still kind, collaborate, and approachable, but their kindness is paired with the strength, and they have the team by elevating the work, not just by doing everyone else's choice. So how do you make that shift without feeling like you are faking it? Here are 3 contract actions. The first thing is master the yes and framework. So the next time someone asks you to take on the task that will mirror your priorities, don't just give a flat yes. Use the yes and mentor. So it sounds like this yes, I can absolutely help you with that, and in order for me to give it the attention it deserves, can we agree to push the deadline for a project ABC back to the 2 days? Or this simple phrase change everything. You're still being helpful, but you are also communicating that your time are valuable. And fitness resort, you moving from the passive helper to a strategic partner. So the key too is ask one clarifying critical question. So let me tell you, in your next team meeting, when an idea is presented, I want you to resist the urge to just nod along. And so I will tell you that in your next team meeting, when an idea is presented, I want you to resist the urge to just nod along and instead ask the constructive, clarifying question that show you are thinking on a deeper level. So, for example, for you, that a really interesting direction. I'm curious, how does this new plan affect our original Q3 budget? Or, I love the ambition of this goal, but what potential risks have we considered? So this is not aggressive, this is engaged, and it positions you as someone who thinks about the business, not just their own task. So the actionable takeaway 3, I want to tell you that conduct the helpfulness audit. So look at your calendar and to-do list for this week. Find one thing you are doing that is primarily to help someone else and is not part of your core job. It's not belong your scope of work. So now ask yourself, now ask yourself, am I the only person who could do this? And am I doing it to be helpful? Or am I doing it because I was afraid to set a boundary? So the goal isn't to stop helping, it's to become intentional. Sometimes the most helpful thing you can do is protect your own time to focus on the work and create the most value. Redefining nice is not about losing your warmth or your collaborative spirit. It's about adding the layer of strategic thinking to it. It's ensure your kindness is seen as a strength, not a weakness. Your goal is to be remembered as the person who was not just pleasant, but powerfully effective. So, the last thing I want to tell you, your task today is to reflect. Where do you fall on the passive but nice and versus the powerfully nice spectrum? And which one of the 3 actions can you take it this week? Comment below and share one small way you plan to be powerfully nice this week. And let's learn from each other. Making this shift is crucial because staying in the nice but forgettable zone has real, tangible costs. It's more than just a feeling of being overlooked. It's about the promotion you don't get, the raise you often not considered for, and the exciting project you never ever hear about. The cost of invisibility is very real. And in tomorrow's video, we are going to get brutally honest about it. We will cover the 5 critical warning signs that your lack of the personal brand is already costing you opportunities. You won't want to miss this. Really check, subscribe, and turn on the notification. I will see you in tomorrow. Goodbye and see you in next video.